What's up, everybody? Today I thought we'd take a look back a couple weeks ago when Donald Trump was talking about the report that came out where it said Google had manipulated from 2.6 million to 16 million votes in favor of Hillary for the 2016 election. Now, I had only seen that by accident. I really don't go on Twitter all that much. I really only see when people share his tweets on Instagram. But the main reason I made Twitter was to read Donald Trump's tweets. Basically, the only reason I go on there now is to see Trump's tweets, Anthony Cumia, who they banned again, and then like Sam Hyde, a couple other people. But I just go in and out. Twitter is like the angriest place on planet Earth. Personally, if I'm going to go on any social media, it's always Instagram. I mean, Instagram, you only see who you follow. So it's way more positive. Like I go on Instagram, I don't see anything I don't like all day. You go on Twitter, and here's a perfect example. This one day I happened to go on Twitter, and this is how I saw this, is that the first thing that popped up was Hillary Clinton. Now, this is, I had to look for this tweet now. But that day, this was what was up when I clicked on Twitter. Why? I don't follow her. There's no reason I would ever want to see anything she has to say. But sure enough, the debunked study you're referring to was based on 21 undecided voters. For context, she's so snarky, you can almost respect it. That's about half the number of people associated with your campaign who have been indicted. Yeah, it's also about a third of the people who have died suspicious deaths around you. All right? I think that's a much higher problem, but, whatever. And then here you got Mark Dice, the friggin' best ever. Friendly reminder, you're not the president and never will be. Listen, just in case you forgot, it's a friendly reminder. It's Mark Dice, the fucking best. But anyway, I thought maybe we conduct our own little research into this topic. Let's see. Trump. All right, president. He is the president. Cartoon, negative, because obviously every freaking cartoon about him is a joke. Baby, negative. Obama comes up, definitely negative. All right, Melania, Ivanka is positive. Donald is an anime Donald. I'm sure that's negative. The Wall. Valentine's Day, that's pretty funny. Now look what comes up down here. Oh, Trump's angry. Or here, Trump's pardon offer on the border wall. They know people are on our side, or oh, where's the wall? Where's the wall? So that's adjective. Here he's mad. Here he's fun of a Chinese with the China stuff. Look, here he's mad. Here he's pointing at someone. Here's probably a hit job on people, I'm sure. Donald Trump fights with London mayor over criticism, blah, blah, blah. So everything, pretty much 90% of this that comes up is negative. If you go to the stories, here's Trump with Nazi in the title. Trump to divert $3.6 billion from military projects. That's pretty awesome. Here's getting Mattis to talk more crap on Trump. Here's again with Poland in World War II. It's not all negative, but mostly negative. Now let's just put in Hillary Clinton. Let's see what comes up. Website mockingly shows. All right, so start off negative. But here's her smiling. Oh, here's a nice headshot. All these positive looking pictures. None of it. Trump, every other one where he was angry. And look, Hillary, almost everyone she's smiling. See, that is manipulative. Let's go on the top. Oh, where'd she go to college? Oh, remember when she was the first lady? So you could say maybe this is negative old. Full body. Ugh, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Beautiful. Sad. Transparent. Dead. Presidential. All right, so the top, there's a couple negative. But for the most part, half and half. And all the regular pictures, she's smiling, were all of Trump's. He's got look, scowl. He's joking. He's mad. He's mad. He's mad. He's mad. You understand? This is subconscious brainwashing. So really, you could argue, 16 million, you could almost argue that's low. This is everyone checks Google. It's not like there's a whole bunch that people go back and forth with. We use other ones. DuckDuckGo, which I actually kind of suspect lately is compromised. It seems to be all of a sudden given the same sort of search results that Google does, but that's a whole nother story. But for the most part, for everyone else on the planet, Google. 10 times a day. Oh, what's the answer to this? Oh, let's Google it. No one putting their heads together and trying to come up with the answer anymore. It's just, what does Google say? And Google gives you the answer. So this is how kids are creating their entire volume of information that they're going to have forever. by Googling it. So if the first thing that flashes in your head when you Google Trump is an angry picture, and then the first thing flashes in your head when you Google Hillary is a happy picture, that's going to stay. This is how you steer and manipulate the public. And this is after the fact. Forget about it. When the freaking election was coming up, it was 10 times worse. This is not only after the fact, this is after they've been called out, no less. They don't even care to change it. Now that's Google with millions and millions of votes on their hands. There's no way around it. Now you add that to illegals voting. And now think about this. If you don't need an ID, you can just go to 10 different towns. You can vote 10 times. Every one of you. There's millions in some of these states. And if you want further proof, you need look no further than these two maps right here, which is one, where the highest concentrations of illegals are, and two, where the highest concentrations of Democrat votes are. So I took the absolute highest estimations of illegal immigrants and put it over an election county map, and this is what it looks like. It overlaps perfectly. And look at this huge section in New York and New Jersey. That's why we go Democrat every year. I mean, this is the 2016 precinct map. I mean, does this look like a liberal hellhole to anyone? I mean, look, part of Brooklyn's red. Most of Long Island's red. The whole Jersey Shore is red. Most of North Jersey's red. All these blue areas, this is where all the illegal immigrants are. Down here by Philly, that's Camden. Up here, this is all Newark and stuff like that. I know we get a bad rap as, oh, this crazy liberal area. And yes, they push a lot of liberal stuff here. But as far as the people go, look who's in the White House. That's not an aberration. Most of my friends and most of my family, they all feel the way I do. We hate all this PC pansy garbage. I mean, this is the least politically correct place on planet Earth. And just for a quick example, let's look at the 2018 senatorial vote in Jersey. You see, Hugan lost to Menendez by just under 300,000 votes. Now, let's look at the population of illegals in New Jersey. It's about 500,000, and that's 500,000 that they know of. So that means it's probably well over 1 million. But even right there, and what they're admitting is way more than vote total. And like I said before, who's saying they're only voting at their precinct? They don't need ID. They don't need anything. They go to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 precincts. But going back to Google, this is how you steer society with things like this. This is how you erase history. This coupled with taking down the statues and, oh, well, it's racist. No, it's history. When you eventually, no one's going to remember that any of these statues were here. It just takes a couple generations, and then that's erased from history. Now, then you got a couple generations deep of just all Google searches. So all the things you want to bury are buried, and that's erased in history, and it's being replaced with whatever they wanted. Here, let's just do a quick, let's see, white history. What comes up? What do you know? Slavery. First of all, I don't think there's one white person on this whole freaking front screen right here. They want you to remember slavery, not the Roman Empire or the ancient Greeks or, settling the colonies or all this wonderful or all the wonderful inventions white people have done, all the wonderful things white people have done throughout history. No, they want to bring you to slavery. And none of these are how hundreds of thousands of white people rose up to end this thing that less than 1% of the population owned. It was horrible. No, here, what's the history of white people can tell us about race in America? Tales of African American history, the history of white people need to learn, and it's just a bunch of black people lobbying against white. This is what they want. This is all negative. This is all negative stuff about white history. That's what they want kids to learn. Only the few blips in negative society, which, by the way, every race has, all right? This isn't a white thing, all right? You want to look up the ancient Chinese. You want to look up the history of African warlords. You want to look up things in South America, the Middle East. The whole freaking world has these stories, all right? But that ain't the first thing when you look up them. Only for white history. You look that up. Negative here. White trash. White historians have lied about our history. All these things that they have used to demonize white people from the past. Let's look up white European history. Oh, hey, look at all these black people. They're erasing the white race. You understand? This is white European history. This is disgusting. Let's type in white couple. Oh, here's a couple who identify as black. Black couple, black couple, black couple. A white couple with black kids. Here's it's like a Puerto Rican chick with a black baby. Here's another white couple with a black baby. Here's a black couple with one white baby. What? This is what comes up when you Google white couple. This is not okay. Let's type in white American family. Look at this. This is what comes up when you Google white American family. Not white family, not a white family, not a white family, not a white family. Oh, here's one in the bottom right corner. Hey, one white family. All right. This is what the Google white family is, according to Google. These are things, this is what happens. They don't just react to the times. Things like Google create the times. Things like TV and commercials and songs. That's how they've always created trends. And now things like Google have set it into orbit, all right? Say white inventors. No white inventors. This is how they erase your history and your world. Tesla. Tesla's the only one comes up. That's what high of a level you have to be to get featured on the Google White Inventors homepage. Literally one of the, probably the most genius human being to ever walk the planet, all right? Hey, he got an honorary mention here. Nope, but African Americans, 9 black inventors. This is not concerning to anyone. Here, let's type in white leaders. Barack Obama. Oh, Barry Soetoro. Well, yeah, well, I guess he's half white. I mean, he identifies as black because obviously there's no such thing as white privilege in this world. But here you go. You got more Trump hit pieces. Joe Biden, who they're pushing for their next presidential candidate, of course, and black leaders. Now let's type in black leaders and see how many white people. So maybe they're just saying, hey, we're diverse. We just want to make it equal for everyone. Let's see black leaders. Oh, not a single white person pops up. So black leaders, a whole bunch of people pop up. White leaders, half and half. Let's just type in white people. Oh, here you go. Hang white people. Rapper Nick Conrad, I guess this, upstanding gentleman, thinks we should hang white people. That's good. Yeah, that should be the first thing that pops up when you type in white people. Here's the New Yorker. The trouble with white people. The trouble your fucking ass. Hey, do white people have higher IQs? Well, I'm fairly certain they're going to say no, since it's theroot.com, which is probably one of the most racist pages on planet Earth. Dear White People Season 3. There's 3 seasons of this garbage? My God, man. Here, MTV, white people. Oh, I'm sure that's a horrendous, awful garbage. So let's type in white kids. Okay, here's a half and half. That's a mulatto kid. Here's a white girl with a little black girl. Here's a white kid. Here's some white kids. All right, here's a couple with a black baby. Jesus, man. Now let's type in black kids and see what comes up. Oh, well, the same with the little white girl and all black kids. Oh, and here's a black kid getting arrested by an evil cop. Does anyone, you understand, Google is a brainwashing operation. Let's type in white philosopher. Okay, here's some ancient white people right in the middle. Here's a black guy. And, Kanye West is a white philosopher. I mean, nothing against these people. But, shouldn't this come up under black philosophers? Which, when you type in, hey, only black philosophers come up. Wow. It's almost as if Google is trying to erase the white race. Let's type in white artists. Okay. Here's black music, white artists. Jeez. Macklemore with a black chick, with 2 black chicks. Here's a bunch of black girls. I don't know what the fuck this is. Here's some black lady. She looks crazy. I guess this is art. She painted a leaf. Elvis. Here, black death sentence. That's white art. That's what comes up with white artists. Whoa. Let's type in white cops. Hey, this one worked. All white people. Okay. So when you want to see a result that's accurate and shows all white people, when you type in the word white, it only works for cops. And here's one right dead center. A cop frisking a black kid. Classic white cop. I mean, we could do this all day. I really gotta type in any more. Here, white role models. That's the movie role models. Fucking hysterical movie. Here, female white role models. Here's a whole bunch with Martin Luther King Jr. and Gandhi. Why would they have all white people under white role models? Here's Nelson Mandela. Here's that guy with the TV show Ellen. Here, Puff Daddy. Whoa, that's a real white role model right there. Puff Daddy. Here's an amazing black woman. Here's I'm a white girl, and all my role models are black women. So is Google actively trying to manipulate society? Yeah, obviously. Did Google use their monopoly powers to influence the 2016 election on purpose? Yes, absolutely. Just one quick picture search can tell you that. And not for nothing, these are completely reversed. Hillary Clinton is notorious for being a bitch. That's not my words. That's all the Secret Service and everyone used to say it in the 90s while she was in the White House. That was her MO forever. And Donald Trump is notorious for being a happy-go-lucky, awesome, funny dude. So they don't even have a leg to stand on with this one. All right, that's not to mention all the people on Project Veritas. By the way, if you're not subscribed to Project Veritas, why do you even own a computer? Go there right now. There is video after video of people from Google coming out and straight up telling you that they're messing with the algorithms and how they shadow ban people and how they suppress views and all this, the whole freaking nine. But even all that aside, just in the eye test, this is how biased and disgustingly racist Google is, okay? So yeah, I think it's extremely feasible that they swayed the election 16 million votes. I'm going to say at least 16 million votes. And that's on top of all their other scams, like when they were caught using deceased voter rolls, or this, where Project Veritas again had the guy breaking down their whole scam and how they'll get them rent cars, and it's harder to prove that it's a conspiracy if there's no bus, and they'll bring them around to all the voting polls to vote. That's on top of having all of Hollywood and every TV station, every radio station. I mean, my God, would anyone have voted for Hillary if it wasn't for all this? But next time someone scoffs when you tell them how biased Google is and how they can manipulate the world, you show them this video right here. Because this is as simple as it gets. And they could go on, and then they could go down their own rabbit holes and do a million Google searches and just see how messed up and manipulative they really are. Where we go one, we go all.
As I understand your background, you're not a Republican and nor are you a conservative. Is that accurate?
That would be an understatement.
And I want to make sure I understand. You personally supported and voted for Hillary Clinton.
I was a very strong public supporter of Hillary Clinton, yes.
So you're not dismayed that people voted for her, but your testimony is that Google is, through bias in search results, manipulating voters in a way they're not aware of.
On a massive scale, and what I'm saying is that I believe in democracy, I believe in the free and fair election, more than I have any kind of allegiance to a candidate or a party. In 2020, if all these companies are supporting the same candidate, there are 15 million votes on the line that can be shifted without people's knowledge and without leaving a paper trail for authorities to trace. In 2018, I'm sure they were more aggressive. We have lots of data to support that. And in 2020, you can bet that all of these companies are going to go all out. And the methods that they're using are invisible. They're subliminal. They're more powerful than most any effects I've ever seen in the behavioral sciences. And I've been in the behavioral sciences for almost 40 years.
What you are testifying to is that a handful of Silicon Valley billionaires and giant corporations are able to spend millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars collectively, massively influencing the results of elections. Please.
If Mark Zuckerberg chooses to send out a go vote reminder just to Democrats on election day, that doesn't cost him a dime.
The number one financial supporter of the Hillary Clinton campaign in the 2016 election was the parent company of Google, Alphabet, who was our first witness. They were her number one financial donor, and your testimony is, through their deceptive search methods, they moved 2.6 million votes in her direction. I would think anybody, whether or not you favor one candidate or another, should be deeply dismayed about a handful of Silicon Valley billionaires having that much power over our elections to silently and deceptively shift vote outcomes.
Again, with respect, I must correct you. The 2.6 million is a rock bottom minimum. The range is between 2.6 and 10.4 million, depending on how aggressively they used the techniques that I've been studying now for 6.5 years. Such as the search engine manipulation effect, the search suggestion effect, the answer bot effect, and a number of others. They control these, and no one can counteract them. These are not competitive. These are tools that they have at their disposal exclusively.